Stop defending mediocrity. We need goals from our forwards. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb, and in this video, we are looking at the 5 lessons we learned from our victory over Wigan in the FA Cup. And I'll start it off with the first one. Number 5, Scott McTominay is not good enough. Scott McTominay continues to be exposed, and every time he's played alongside Kobbie Mino, you clearly see the difference between the two. It's day and night. Guys, we do need to cash in on Scott at the earliest opportunity. We do need to sell him even without his knowledge. Yes, Sir Alex Ferguson did it with the upstam. He sold him to Lazio without his consent, communicated to him in his car in the car parking at Old Trafford. He told him at Carrington, he told him, well, you know, we've sold you to Lazio. Yes, we need to do the same with Scott McTominay, because if we try to go into a negotiation with him, he will obviously not accept. But the reality is our cleanup must start with Scott as one of the core players, because look, the boy does a lot of hard work in the middle in Kobbie Mino. Passes the ball to you, wins it, passes it to you. The obvious thing is to pass to the nearest possible person. Either Garnacho is there or Bruno Fernandes, but he still hits the ball in the body of Kobbie. And I'm thinking, and Kobbie, and then he looks on, he stares on, like, you know, just watching, ball watching, like, what have I done? And then Kobbie has to run again and steal the ball back. And I'm thinking, how is this boy a Manchester United player? No, guys, no. Nothing against Scott, but he's not good enough. Number 4, the lesson we learned from this game is that Marcus Rashford is done. He's a finished player. He scored 30 goals last season. We thank him, we praised him, we respected him. But guys, it is time for Manchester United to cash in on Marcus Rashford. It is time, because Rashford's decision making for me is the worst decision making of any elite player I've seen. I actually wonder how he scored the 30 goals. I mean, I watched them and I'm thinking, there were not so many goals that he watched, and I'm thinking that was a smart goal. Rashford is good with his feet, he's physically fit, he runs a lot, he's maybe talented, but his decision making for me with the final ball is so bad. He looked desperate to score a goal. He had good runs and moments, but final delivery for me lets him down, and that's not one of a world-class player. You need class and smart players on the pitch. Rashford is not that player, and I think it's an opportunity for us to sell him and make money. If Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager of this team, Marcus Rashford would be sold in the summer. He would be sold for maybe £80 million or more, because I know a team like PSG can give us that money. There are clubs out there, because he's even young. He's not a bad player. He's not smart. And we can't have the patience to make him smart, because we've tried. But if he doesn't see it himself, that your final decision making is questionable. You don't just hit balls at the goal just because you beat off your men and you see the goal and just hit balls into the goalkeeper's hands, into player bodies, into the sky, anywhere, whoever cares. I'm thinking, is this an elite player? No, guys, the new United we want should be full of elite players, not hit. I mean, what's that? Number 3, guys, we have protected these players enough. Our strikers, and it has been true, they were for the longest time not being fed with balls. You know, we are seeing it clearly. But in the past games, to be honest, Rasmus Højlund has been fed, but he has been failing to bury what should be obvious chances, and that's why I've kept him there. This video is mostly about him. He has been failing to bury obvious chances. Guys, we need to start demanding for goals from Højlund, because look at how many chances Højlund should have been on a hat-trick against Wigan. I mean, this is a team full of young guys who we had to dominate. We partly dominated, of course, not as convincingly as we would have loved. But Højlund failing to score against Wigan with all the chances he had, the time he had. Yes, he's growing, he's a young player, but at least he should have scored half a goal and let it be cancelled. He didn't. You know why? He's not clinical. Guys, no, we need to demand. You're a striker, you should be clinical. Yes, he moves in the right places, gets there, but why isn't he burying the chances? We are playing against Tottenham Hotspurs. We are looking upon him. He's our only number 9. I'm thinking, if Martial was in that game, probably would have scored. Yeah, Martial is lazy, has his weaknesses, but if we are in that game, probably would have scored. With all the chances that Højlund got, give one to Martial, I think he would have scored. And I'm not trying to bring back Martial into the conversation. I'm just showing you that Højlund has got to now also show us what he can do. We are done babysitting him. The honeymoon is done. We should be demand goals from Rasmus HOJLUND, because at least now we see that the chances are a bit there. So HOJLUND, do more. We should be demanding. We've got to see more goals from Rasmus HOJLUND. Number 4, and number 2, and I spoke about this in my last video. The reality is, Kobbie Mino is a class act. Kobbie Mino is way far above everyone around him, and even Garnacho said it. I mean, in his street, still the man of the match. He was. Forget about Diogo Dalot. Kobbie Mino was by far better than anyone at everyone on the pitch in everything, in passing the ball, in winning duels, in tackles, in vision, in opening up the game, in working hard. This boy is a class act, and I actually feel bad hearing people comparing him to Paul Pogba. I feel like, how dare you compare a Ferrari to a Vitesse? That's what you're doing, comparing. Because yes, Paul Pogba was good. He was a good player and he was more established, but Mino is already way above Paul Pogba, because this boy has been doing things we've never seen consistently for his age. Consistently. So don't tell me about Pogba. I think Mino is a generational talent in his own lane. Keep him there. Let Mino be in his own lane. When players who are close to him emerge, we will talk about them. The only player I can speak about in the same breath as him right now is Jude Bellingham. Yes, he's at that level at 18. Let it hurt you. I've said it. He's at that level at 18. That's how good Kobbie Mino is. Number 1, most important. Guys, we are going to take on a Spurs that beat us in the first game. I don't know whether you remember, at Old Trafford, our first Premier League game at home. Guys, we do need to see improvement in the entire team. Onana tried to improve against Wigan. Evans was Johnny Evans, clearly. Varane had good moments in the game. Guys, the entire team as a unit is still lacking. We are supposed to be obliterating this Wigan team. We didn't. We beat them, but we did not obliterate them. We just bullied them because I think they were young kids and bullied them with power and bodies. But guys, we are not good enough. There is nothing we are building. Where is progress in this team? I don't see it. I don't see what Erik ten Hag really is doing. I still have failed to see the identity of this team. So we need to see improvement in the entire team. The last lesson we learned from that game is that our team is not improving as a block. We are not improving. And you see, improvement is not about which players are there. It's not about the injuries or who is fit. It's about what you do. You see, if the patterns are good, if the players, look at a team like Arsenal, look at Man City, even when you don't have the right players, even when Kevin De Bruyne is not there, or they are good players, you see that the players who are there play in a template that you love, in a clear template, but maybe they don't execute it to the level of Kevin De Bruyne and all the senior players. With us, what is the template? It's not there. It is not there. And if we come, again, you don't know which man you will expect to see against Spurs on Sunday. You see, that's the thing. I don't see improvement. And that's where I love Erik ten Hag. I want it to work out for Erik ten Hag. But it is so difficult to defend what he's doing. It's extremely difficult to defend what Erik ten Hag is doing because we don't see progression in the work they are doing. There are no patterns. There is no improvement. Where is it? And he keeps saying we can't have patterns because of injuries. There are many setbacks. There are challenges. Judge me when the full squad is back. Even when the full squad returns, if you've not created the right template of patterns where these guys are just going to come and replace bodies, but the template is there, nothing is going to be done. So for me, generally, on a scale of 1 to 10, whereas we won that game, I would give the boss 6 out of 10. I would give the entire squad 6 out of 10. I would give Kobbie Mino 9 out of 10 as an individual. Nacho maybe 8 out of 10. A few individuals shown, but the unit was still lacking. Rasmus HOJLUND has got to start scoring goals. Guys, let's stop babysitting this boy. He should know that he's playing for the biggest club in the world, for Manchester United, and we have a lot of expectations in him. He cannot just keep being there and failing to buy the obvious chances that even Nicholas Bentner would.